Right. Hi, my dear learners. Welcome to the world of exploration. Welcome to the world of education. Let's start exploring. Let's start learning. This is your very own educator, teacher, philosopher, guide, mentor, friend, one and all. And this is the one stop destination English curricle wherein you would be learning a lot and we will both be diving deep into the recesses of literature, right? So now I'm gonna discuss the format. So we are gonna do the writing skills, right? And the format for writing skills, if I talk about job application, so we are gonna continue with our job application, right? Pardon my handwriting, but now we are gonna. So, job application falls under writing skills. Again, I keep reminding so that you don't forget, and please be cool and calm. Only then you would be able to enjoy and study, right? Now we're gonna cover. Now, under format, what do we have? We have sender's address, right? So the sender's address is usually put on the top left hand corner. So if we talk about the sender's address, that is basically put on the top left hand corner, right? So uh, you have done letter to the editor, you have done various letters, right? So in each and every letter, formal letter, we get to see that there is sender's address, there's date, there's this receiver's address, then there's subject, then salutation is there, and then the body is there, right? This is the format, right? If we talk about any letter, this is how we this is the format, how it goes, right? And then we have paragraphs, and then we have the body, the may the introduction part, the body part, the conclusion part, right? So if I talk about paragraph, then we have paragraph 1, right? Then paragraph 2 and paragraph 3, which would be our conclusion. And then we have our complementary clause, and then we have signature. And then the biodata or CV is generally divided into 4 parts, right? As follows. Now, personal details, right? So if we talk about personal details is there, qualifications are there, then experience and reference out there, right? These things are crucial, which you are supposed to keep in mind, right? All of this is crucial, which you are supposed to keep in mind. All right. Now, sender's address. Now, the sender's address is usually put on the top left-hand corner, as I've discussed before. Then the sender's address is followed by the date just below it. So just below the sender's address, you have to write down the date below it. This is the date on which the letter is being written. And men, please keep that in mind. This is the date on which the letter is being written by you. So for instance, you would be writing in like you would be having exams. So for instance, the date is 22nd February. So you would be mentioning 22nd February, the date on which you are writing that, right? If you're writing on 22nd, would be mentioning 22nd. Today it's 20th, so I'll be mentioning 20th November 2024, right? It is to be written in expanded form, right? And please do not contract it, like do not it has to be written in expanded form, right? Then we move on to receiver's address. Whether to write to above the address depends on the writer's preference. Actually, in reality, see, you don't have to mention to, right? uh to is was used earlier in ancient times. We used to make use of to, but now it hardly matters. In fact, you shouldn't be writing to, right? Make sure you write the official title, name, position, etc. of the receiver as the first line of the address. So you have to make sure that you are writing the official title, you are mentioning the name, you are mentioning the position, etc. So on and so forth, right, of the receiver as the first line of the address. Then we move on to subject, right? Then we sum up the purpose of writing the letter in one line. You have to basically sum up the purpose. What is the purpose of writing the letter, right? In one line. This helps the receiver focus on the subject of the letter in one glance. It is important to underline the subject, and always make sure that you end up underlining the word subject. So if you have written subject, underline the word subject. Clear? I hope I have made myself clear. Now, we have salutations. Here you greet the person you are addressing the letter to. Now, what is salutation? Say, hi, I'm Sukriti, right? So this is called salutation. So salutation is basically greeting. So here you greet the person you are addressing the letter to. Suppose I'm writing down the address, you are my employer, and I'm writing down the address, and I'm greeting you, right? So keep in mind that then I have to keep in mind that it is a formal letter. So I have to keep in mind that I have to use a formal tone, right? So the greeting must be respectful and not too personal. So it shouldn't be too personal, that as if I know you a lot, by some people, because they read about the institution and about the organization, and then they try to be too personal. They try to be too they try to be very informal in nature, right? So you have to basically make sure that you are making use of respectful and not too personal. You're not being too personal. The general greetings used in the formal letters are sir or madam, right? Or ma'am, right? Sir or ma'am or madam, right? Then we have the body. This is the main content of the letter. The body contains the main letter of the body is basically containing the main content of the letter. It is either divided into 3 paragraphs or 2 paragraphs. Majorly, it is divided into 3 paragraphs. Always remember that if the letter is briefer. So if the letter is briefer, then you have to, some children prefer, if they don't have time left, then they write in 2 paragraphs and then they end. But that shouldn't be the case. At least write 3 paragraphs, right? That is my suggestion. The tone of the content should be formal. Do not use any flowery language. Another point to keep in mind is that the letter should be concise and to the point. So you don't have to showcase your literary skills over here, right? You don't have to show your literature background. This is not that platform to showcase your literary skills, right? You have to be concise, you have to be brief, you have to be to the point, and always be respectful and considerate in your language. So you have to be respectful and you have to be considerate in your language. Then we have paragraph 1. You have to begin the body of the letter by mentioning the source from where you got to know about the job. So you have to mention the source, as I've mentioned earlier in my previous lecture also, in my previous session also, I mentioned about whether you heard it from some neighbor or from some friend, or you got to know through some newspaper, for instance, TOI, Times of India, Hindustan Times, Dainik Bhaskar, Dainik Jagran, right? Or from e-newspaper. And nowadays there are so many sources, so you need to uh, mention that source, right, of information about the job. Example, newspaper, as it is being mentioned over here also. So along with the date, uh, 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 so you have to mention the day as well. When was it published? You have to mention that day, date, and advertisement number. And there's this number also advertisement number that you get to see. So you can also mention that. Also mention the post you wish to apply for. Obviously, when you are writing down the job application, you have to make sure that you mention, you describe, you delineate the position for which you're applying. For instance, if you're applying for the post of PGT English, right? If you're applying for the post of PGT English, then you have to mention application for the post of PGT English, right? Even in the subject line, you can underline, write down the, do not use slangs and do not use short words. Write down subject and then write down application for the post of PGT English, right? Let me just clear this. Wait. Yeah. So then we have paragraph 2. Here you are supposed to offer your candidature by briefing about your qualifications, achievements, previous experiences, and your strengths. In other words, this paragraph should be an answer to the question, how are you the perfect candidate for the job? In the second paragraph, which is crucial, which is quintessential, herein you have to uh basically answer the question that why should we take you? Why why are you a suitable candidate? You know, and why should we hire you? Right? Um, all right. Then we have paragraph 3. In this part of the body, you are supposed to make a reference to a photograph that is passport sized, biodata, or curriculum vitae, and other detailed documents that you have enclosed. You can also appeal for a one-on-one interview, right? And the body on compromising and the body on a compromising note. Example, looking forward to your positive response. Complimentary clause at the end of your letter. We basically write a complimentary closing, right? The words yours faithfully or yours sincerely. Nowadays, yours sincerely is in, I would say, right? So you can always, whether it is a letter to the editor or job application, to be on a safer side, make sure you are writing yours sincerely. Clear? Signature, here finally you sign your name and then write your name in block letters beneath the signature. So first of all, you will sign and then you will write down uh, your name in block letters, in capital letters, right, beneath the signature. This is how the recipient will know who is sending the letter. Now, the biodata or CV is generally divided into 4 parts as follows: personal details, qualifications, experience, references, right? Uh, Please keep in mind all these 4 factors: personal details, qualifications, experience, and references. All right, so this is for it. In the next session, we are gonna discuss further for this session. This was it. That was it. So this is Sukriti Joshi signing off. Till then, keep learning. Let's all keep learning. Let's all keep growing. This is Sukriti Joshi, your very own educator, teacher, philosopher, guide, mentor, and your very own friend. And your very own destination is here to learn. Thank you.